Hey everybody, Derek at SoundPure here, and today I'm in the studio with some amps from Henriksen out in Colorado. They make great jazz amps and just transparent amplifiers for flat top and arch top guitars, as well as singer-songwriters and other instruments you can mic up. But they recently announced the Blu, which is a new addition to their model line, which is somewhat different from their Bud that's been out for some time and been very, very popular with our customers. Today I just wanted to talk about the two, how they compare, and help split some differences so you can hopefully make an educated purchase down the road if you're looking at these. They are very similar, but there's certainly some pros and cons to each, and depending how you're going to use it, whether it's at home as a practice amp, on the road gigging as a singer-songwriter, using it as a monitor while you're gigging, or keeping it in your studio to record your direct out, or just use it to kind of play around with ideas. It's just very versatile amps that I feel like everybody would be happy to own, and it would definitely be a value for just about every type of player out there. There's something in each of these amps that you probably don't have right now, and would really help you with your playing, practicing, or performing. So first, I'm going to talk about the similarities and differences between these two amps from Henriksen. First thing you'll notice is the enclosure of both is exactly the same size. We're at a 9 by 9 by 9 inch box for both amps, and the weights are similar, but the Bud is definitely a little heavier with the two channels and the circuitry that goes along with that. We're at about 17 pounds on the Bud and 12 on the Blu. As I just mentioned, there is one channel on the Blu, two channels on the Bud, and they are both combo XLR or instrument or quarter-inch cable. So on the Blu you have the one channel. You can mic up your guitar, or if you have a pickup installed, you can plug right in, run through there as you normally would. On the Bud you can do the same thing I just mentioned on both channels, or a lot of people like using this as a channel 1 is your guitar, EQ it, get it ready, and then channel 2 you plug your microphone in if you're a singer-songwriter doing gigs. This is all you need. Put it under your chair, put your mic in front of you, have your guitar on your lap, and you're good, and people are going to be wondering how you sound that good and how you fill the space without seeing your stack behind you or your setup in a spot. So they're both very, very small enclosures that can be kept out of the way, very light and very easy to carry around. A lot of people think of these as practice amps, or just throw them in the living room type travel around amps, but they're incredibly great sounding. The fidelity is unbeatable. It's the reason why we recommend them all the time. So they're perfect for that. They're small and light and easy to transport, but these are also certainly world-class amps that if you're in the studio or gigging, do not think of them as a lesser sound quality amp because of the size. So next I'm gonna talk a little bit about the EQ on both. Both amps are going to have the same 5-band EQ built in. On the Bud you're going to have the same EQ on both channels, so you can EQ them differently. If you decide to run two separate guitars with two different EQs, you can always do that. Even add an A-B box before it, and then you can kind of jump between channels on this if you'd like. Both amps come with effects loop built in. There's an effects loop on each channel of the Bud and one effects loop for the one channel on the Blu. I will note that there is a special cable that we sell that's a CBI branded Henriksen cable for the effects loop that takes the tip sleeve cables and splits them for you, since it's one input on the effects loop for each. So if you are looking to use the effects loop, I do just want to mention also that there is this cable from CBI that we carry that you will need, and you will need two of if you want to run them on each of the channels on the Bud. So they both have effects loop that can be run after effects and EQ. Both amps have built-in digital reverb. There's reverb on both channels on the Bud and the one channel of the Blu. Next I wanted to talk about the differences in auxiliary in on both of these amps. The Bud, if you're familiar with using your cell phone or music player and then the standard little 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, you can actually plug your music into the Bud. There's an aux in right up here, and you can control your phone with a cable, play your music, and then pick up your guitar or sing along, play along with your tracks. The Blu that just came out this year actually has Bluetooth capability built in, so while it is only one channel for your instrument or a microphone, you can pair the Blu as if it was a Bluetooth speaker on your phone, or if it's an Android or an Apple phone or something else. You'll see this as a discoverable Bluetooth device. You just pair up with it, and then no cables needed. You can set your phone down on your lap or on the couch couch, play your tunes that you might want to be working on or improvising over, and you can, be a one-man improviser over an entire band playing in the background. So that's a really nice feature on the Blu if you are looking to use it as a practice amp. It's very convenient for jamming along with your tracks that you might have on your phone. So next I wanted to talk about the external speakers on both. They can both take the Ray that Henriksen released this year as their extension speaker. It's 8 ohms on both, and you want to probably stick with what Henriksen makes, but they do both have the option to add another speaker if you do want to get a little bit more space to your sound. Moving on from the extension capabilities of both amps, they also do, each of these has a built-in direct out XLR hookup. So if you're either want to send your mix to the front of house board if you're using it as a monitor on stage while you're gigging, or if you're recording and don't want to bother putting a microphone in front of the speaker, you can always just catch a signal directly from the amp running to your DAW, and that's a just very easy way to not hassle with moving microphones around and making sure placement is correct. You can just get a really clean, strong signal without messing around. So that's definitely a benefit here. Also wanted to note that if you're somebody playing late at night and using this more as a home practice amplifier, both of these have a 1/4 inch headphone out, so you can keep the volume all the way off and just plug your headphones in and sit and listen quietly and nobody would know the difference. So they're really, like I mentioned, great amps. They do a little bit of, well, a lot of everything, and whether you need it as, like I said, a practice amp at home, something to take between rehearsals and gigs, or use as a monitor, use as a studio piece of gear, they're extremely versatile, and you're only limited by how you want to apply it to your style and what you do, whether it be singing and playing multiple instruments, or needing 2 musicians to run through 1 amp. They've definitely got options for you, and just wanted to highlight some of the differences there so you can make an educated decision down the road. Stay tuned with us on Henriksen. I do want to note, near the end of this year, we'll be getting their new Jazz Amp 10 released. They also do the more normal 10 and 12 inch speaker Jazz amps if you want a more directional sound. They revised the 310 this year, and hopefully around November, December, we should be getting some new ones of those in the shop. So if you're looking for one of those, please stay tuned and give us a call or shoot us an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions and help however we can. Thank you.